Hey there, welcome. This is Pearson here. It's the early morning special, which means it's very early, so I gotta be extra quiet. So since I'm being extra quiet, I gotta get started on this drawing. Let me get my tablet on the side here. It's like just the tablet's always in the way. Like I don't have the space to do all the cool things. I really don't have a lot of space. Period. So like this, the tablet is in the way. The tablet's to the side, so we're going to get started. Hopefully I can, well, we're already having things popping up on the computer here that, nope, tablet mode off, manage notifications. I gotta get this. So there we go. Things are just popping up out of nowhere. Just like, hey, dude, guess what? You need to be productive. So we're going to have weird things happen to your computer that normally don't ever happen. And let's begin. Boom. All right. So we got to start this drawing today. Let's get this going in action. No, we're not going to do that. There we go. Opening the file again because I'm OCD like that. Spin it around because I'm going to paint it upside down for this hour. And then I'm going to select this. So the thing about like Sketchbook Pro is it has this really annoying feature that whenever you select a layer or open it, it doesn't mean that you selected that layer. It just means that you clicked on it. It doesn't mean it's selected. So I often don't know that I'm drawing on another layer until after the fact because it's like, hey, guess what? You're not on the right layer. What layer is that? Ah, I'm gonna rename that layer to beard. I was like, what is this layer? It's got a little weird. Okay, now we're gonna go to this layer here. I'm gonna start it up real good. Give it a good once over, if you know what I mean. Just like, whew, right? And so this is the first 25 minutes of the drawing session. Before I start, drink a little bit of coffee. And it's gonna take me a little bit to kind of get warmed up. So I'm gonna be like, just working through it. That's usually the case anyways. When drawing, when I'm drawing, is I'm just trying to basically work through the any issues that I have. So I gotta keep drawing, even though like I might be making mistakes, because I gotta get kind of warmed up visually. So I'm trying to see what's going on, and I just trying to focus. Doesn't help that I'm usually every time I'm drawing, it's usually very early. This one's a little bit earlier than normal. Normally I'm starting a few minutes later. So I think I'm gonna do what I did last time, which is to keep the stylus moving on the drawing surface, and just to be really fixated on progressing the drawing forward, but also not really worrying whether not being too concerned with whether it's okay, like whether it's looking like the image. I'm losing my words here. Basically, I'm going to be forcing my hand and forcing the drawing to move forward and to get closer to the end, whatever that means, right? So I'm very tired today. That's not like, but that's not out of the ordinary, you know. It's kind of like just, hey, I'm tired. Yeah, we're all tired to some level or another. Yeah. So I'm drawing upside down to kind of really separate myself from the image a little bit, and so that I can see the image in a different light. Because when we draw up like right side up, when we draw the other way, we kind of get fixated on certain details, and this way I can kind of loosen up those guidelines a little bit. And that's why I'm drawing it upside down. You don't really see that often. People think it's like weird, but really it's kind of second nature right now to me. What's really interesting about it is you'll have all these other artists that I've noticed that'll do this trick as like a gimmick. Like, oh, look at me, he's drawing upside down. Whoa! Wow, he's totally extreme. He's totally extreme, man. Look at that. He's got some amazing skills to be drawing upside down. And then but the reality is, lots of artists do it, dude. Lots of artists do it. It's nothing new. They're not breaking the mold. But we don't. That just goes with the fact that a lot of us don't know. A lot of us don't know about that technique. So drawing upside down is nothing like. It's not an iceberg. It's not like revolutionary. I think what I'll do eventually with this piece, I notice myself kind of slouching when I'm drawing now. Kind of don't like that. Probably need to adjust the camera or something like that. I just need to adjust it because I notice that I'm like, I notice that I'm starting to like bundle over when I'm drawing, and I don't like that because I end up feeling like Quasimodo from that Disney movie, I think. But I really probably need to adjust the screen because I'm not liking this whole feeling like I've been in a box all day long. So I need to keep moving the drawing forward, and I already noticed that I'm kind of buckling up. So I'm going to turn up the volume on my music just a smidge so I can kind of relax a little bit, and whatever thoughts that I have that I'm grabbing onto, I can let them go. You know, so I'm trying to fake the thoughts or remove those. They're not negative thoughts, but definitely pulling my mind away from this. I think that needs to be brighter than I'm giving it credit. The chin area is much brighter right here, and that's what I'm noticing. Right now, I'm noticing value changes. I'm not being really sensitive. I can sense that I'm not being very, I'm not seeing the colors yet because I'm not in that zone. and that's going to take a minute. But I am noticing the the value differences better, and I'm noticing those when I look at the source, and so that's what I'm working on right now, and just trying to figure out how I can make it seem like that, those tones here. So, but I've been I was on Twitter the other day. What? This is something I wanted to talk about because I thought it was really funny. I was on Twitter the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna jump into the conversation. I think I'll jump in, and then I start jumping in. I was like, oh, I don't want to be in this conversation right now. It's like you guys are way too serious about things, and I was like, man, I just need to get out of here. Plus, I was like, for one, it wasn't. I want to say there are arguments that are happening, but definitely people jumping on me, and I was like, whoa, dude. I'm asking just like a simple question. I'm trying to think of it as like the question as a neutral question, because I'm just trying to think of it as like being in a neutral position, but apparently a neutral position is not a good position to be in anyways. Because I was like, I'm merely posing like the idea, but also they didn't like that. The, the Twitter people didn't like that. So I was like, all right. Yeah. And another thing about people on Twitter, a lot of them, man, like gosh, they'll spend a lot of time on it, and they have like they'll win the argument not because they're right, but because they'll just spend all their time just like replying to you. I'm like, whoa, dude, I got stuff to do, guys. I really do. It's like I don't know where you're spending your time at, but it's obviously going towards this. Like I got drawings to do. I got a job to work at, I got a lot of work to do. I got all these things I got to do. I don't have time to make these little arguments. So I was like, I'm gonna back out of this. And they're like, you should stay out of the conversation. I'm like, you're right, dude. I realize that now, and I'm gonna back out. I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope you find it. I hope you find it because it's like I gotta get going. This is I got chores to do now. Gotta vacuum the floor or something. I'm gonna back out of this. You can go be mad, um, but I'm not gonna be your person that you yell at. You know, I get enough of that in person from other people. I don't need other like people I don't know yelling at me for no reason just because they think they're right. And they might well be. They might have some points that I miss. The thing is on those platforms, there's no there's no right or wrong. Like okay, caveat. There are clear lines, but like everyone always thinks they're right and they might be wrong, you know. But no one wants to accept the fact that they could be on the wrong, you know. That's all it is. And that's you know human nature, I guess. But like, no one ever wants to think that they're wrong. You know, I come in at it through the lens that I'm probably wrong, but I might have a valid point. You know, and I also come at it was like I'm not an expert at any of this stuff. Like I know how to do a few things really well. I know how to draw pretty well. Um, I'm pretty good at stacking things, whatever skill that is. Like blocks, which is a weird thing to claim. Yeah, I'm pretty good at stacking things. And everyone's like, that's not a skill. Like, you try stacking a bunch of blocks together on a pallet. Yeah, right? I'll tell you what, though, I've been super stressed out for no reason. Actually, for many reasons, but super stressed out. And it's resonating all in my neck area. And I could feel it. I really can feel it. And I don't know if you've felt that before, where like all your worries and, like fears or anxieties that are occurring in your life, right, are are manifesting themselves in some area of your body. For me, it really kind of goes down into my shoulders and neck, and it just affects my. I guess it affects me. It affects my temperament. Like normally, I can kind of deal with irrelevant things better, but when I have that tension and that load, that mental load on my shoulders, my temperament and my ability to shrug things off are much less than they normally are. And I listened to a podcast, not recently, but a while ago. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, not as much as I used to. But this one person was saying like, your 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 patience is everyone has like a set load of patience, and you can wear it down. Like you don't have an infinite amount, meaning like if you wake up with a patience level of this and then things start nagging at you, it gets lower and lower. So I noticed that when I have this like tension in my neck, you know, I feel it, when I have this tension in my neck, it it becomes harder and harder to let go of those small like petty things that are like normally don't mean anything. Like they don't not mean anything, but they definitely shouldn't be high on your like to-do list or high on your agenda or level of importance, because as you may know, we all have things that we have to do that might be more significant than other things. And then sometimes we tend to put things that are kind of like eh, important, but who cares, right? We'll put those important things that are important, but they're not going to, they're not supposed to make you lose any sleep over, but you end up losing sleep over it, you know? So I find myself when I get in those situations to have less patience for, you know, when on any other day I'd be like, this is nothing. This is just a a blip. Sorry, just a blip. Like today, this morning, I'm not feeling 100%. I told you, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm like, I missed yesterday's live stream. You know, I don't know if I went to bed late, but I did wake up with a massive headache. And I was like, man, what's going on? I didn't have anything to drink. And I woke up with a massive headache. And then it just stayed there. I was like, I feel terrible. Like, I feel awful, you know, this sucks. And so, like, it didn't, not until like hours later did I feel a little bit normal, but like, I felt like I was, like I had just been partying all night long. I still have a headache today. I don't even know why. I really, maybe I'm sleeping wrong. Maybe I'm putting some impingement on on my spine. I don't know, man, but I woke up just feeling awful, you know, and it sucks. Sucks how, because as I said, like it wears away, like it grinds onto your, it goes back to your patience, and it grinds it like kind of hacks away at your patience, and then like pretty soon, your like willpower dwindles. Patience is like a skill that I think is like with willpower, like lined up with willpower. So like, you know, if you lack the willpower because your patience level's been hacked away, you're gonna eat that cookie in the evening. You're gonna sit down and have that ice cream or something because you're like, oh man, I just need something to make me feel good, you know. And that's what the that food does. Is like it stimulates a small dopamine burst, right? And then you're like, oh, I feel so good. And then it's gone, right? Of course, it goes away to it's super brief, right? You're like, I want this feeling back. I want this level. I want the enjoyment back. I don't want to say I don't want to feel the pain, but I don't want that discomfort right now. I want that slight boost of like happiness, enjoyment, because I've had a cruddy day. I haven't been feeling good. I want some to kind of at least provide me with some sort of happiness, some sort of joy, right? And I've been having that. Like as I said, I've been just not 100% in it. I've just been trying to figure out why. Like I woke up today too. You ever? I hate to say this is gonna be embarrassing, but it's like you ever eat like hard-boiled eggs and then you like burp the methane or you burp that 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 egg burp smell. Oh, this is so embarrassing. But I woke up uh, burping that gas, and usually when that happens, like it means I'm kind of like I'm not under the weather or I had something bad, you know. And so that's kind of the case. I don't know, excuse me. I was coughing a lot worse. Um, Sinus has been acting up, you know, stress has been hitting me hard. But I woke up with that type of like gassy burp, and I was like, "What is going on? This is not good." So I think it's something I've ate because I think we all been in there where you've had something to eat and it's really it's you can feel it like your guts are in your stomach's in like in knots. And so that's what my stomach feels like right now. My stomach is in knots, and I guess the easiest thing I could have done is I was like, I'll just go back to bed. I probably should have went again. I probably should be in bed, or I should be taking it easy for a little bit. But unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. These drawings aren't going to do themselves. They're not going to draw themselves yet. Um, so that's 25 minutes. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. just kind of collect myself for a second. I might end up drawing in a second. I have so I do this for those that are viewing. If you wonder what I'm doing, as I tend to do the marinara timer method, and so that what that involves is drawing for 25 minutes, taking a 5-minute break, and then drawing for another 25 minutes. I do that for 4 cycles, and that's about 100 minutes. So I feel that that's like a good amount of time. I used to, well, it's a good time because right around when I finish those cycles is when everyone else is getting up, and it's probably better to kind of stop doing anything. And that's why I get up real early to draw. It's because well, I think I've talked about this before. I was like, it's the only time I can draw at this point in my life where I have to get up exceptionally early just so I can do these drawings. Because if I don't, the rest of the day is a wash. Like I've tried like doing it in the evening, but like for some odd reason, I try doing it, but like I think it has to do with the screen, the blue screen. And so when I do, gosh, I got a mind-blowing headache. I need to drink more water. I had 2 glasses of water this morning, but when I do in the evening, I tend to be a little bit more um, can't sleep as well, and that's because partially I believe because the blue screen, the computer screen, even if you have it dialed down to like I don't want to dial it down. So it's the blue screen causing the melatonin to kind of be it inhibits the production of melatonin, which is the sleepy drug, sleepy chemical in your body. And so like because of that, I'm not able to sleep or not well or don't fall asleep fast or quickly because of it. And you can mitigate that by wearing like those yellow lenses, and you can have your computer screen to be more yellow in tint. But the problem is when you do that, it skews the drawing. So like I don't know the true colors that I'm drawing in. And so, whenever you're drawing in those color schemes, because the screen looks kind of yellowish, you think you course correct, but you don't know it because you're reacting to the colors that's on the screen. So you can't have the screen be in the natural state that it is. So I try not to do that draw at night, unless it's like cartoons. I guess I could probably get away with cartoons because they're typically there's only like a couple tones with those, but um, yeah, I typically don't do it in the morning. I typically don't draw in the morning. Gosh, I'm flipping out. I got to reverse it. I typically don't draw in the evening because it inhibits my sleep schedule. But then again, drawing in the morning does the same thing because I have to. I basically, I'm basically, uh, I'm basically in a rock and a hard place. Like there's no good time for me to draw in my life right now, and it that makes me sad. Like if I'm like I'm staring off into this like I'm staring off and like I'm going into another zone and thinking about that. I'm just thinking about that notion like the only time I can draw is like from 4 in the morning to 7, and I'm like, man, that sucks. Gosh, that puts me in a bummer state, you know? It bums me out. It kind of bums me out. Yeah, no joke. That sucks, dude. I can't. I think I've had like a well, I've had an epiphany. I already know how much that sucks. Um, but I have to, I try not to, I'm trying not to think of it that way. You know, it'd be nice to not, for that not to be true. Like, it'd be nice to be like, I'm going to go draw because I can just draw now. But no, all right, 2 seconds, back in action. But it's just like, wow, I wish that wasn't the case. I really do. You know, I wish I could just, I wish I was in a position to just do this full time. And you always hear those people like, "This is what you got to do." Like, well, man, I always say this. I always say this. You know, it all depends on what you're drawing, and if you're, I don't know, like when 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 you're drawing. Okay, I gotta backpedal here. I'm trying to think here. With I think these gurus, these artist gurus that try to tell other people how to make it as an artist are deceiving, just like a lot of gurus are. They're underrepresenting how long it takes to how much work is involved, and a lot of them are underrepresenting um, like either being lucky or what genre of work they're doing. So I've noticed this, right? I've noticed that you have a much better chance of getting more traction visually. And I probably should do this, but then again, it's not me. It's like I don't like doing that. You have a much better chance of doing characters that aren't yours, you know. So like a lot of the artists that are doing really well in these platforms, they're drawing Marvel characters, DC characters, or they're comic artists. Some of them might not even be comic artists, but they're doing their own original like spin off them, you know, and that's how they make their money. It's like um, it's much harder to do original stuff, like or there's other things I'm noticing. Like there's like a trend of portrait artists that I see on Instagram that are you know they all look like eerily similar, like the drawings. And I believe it's because they like maybe they're trained in a specific practice, or they've looked up the same artists that have been given this like tutorial. But like if you had like I guarantee like if I took these artists and had them draw, if we took these artists and had them draw like the same portrait, I could make the argument that we could look at them and say, hey, this is probably from the same artist, or like we could say like this is probably from the same artist that just did the portrait slightly different, you know. And so like there's this type of like specific portrait like aesthetic that really trends well on these platforms. And also a lot of artists will do, you know, celebrity drawings. And what that does, what people don't know, is that puts you higher up on it gets you more traction because you got you got a recognizable figure that everyone knows. So if you draw a picture of Chris Evans from Captain America, right? You're going to get more views than if you just draw like a person, you know. And that's kind of like called like riding on the coattails, you know. And I'm not bashing it. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. But it is much harder for like if I were to do this, you know, for like me, it is much harder it's much harder for me to let's see here, to compete with that, and it's much harder for a lot of artists to compete with that. Um, you don't get a lot of. It's hard for an artist to do original characters. There's a lot of them that don't do it because they know if they do original characters, the chances of being noticed are smaller. You know, like if I was streaming like maybe I should do this just for fun, like streaming me drawing Rick and Morty, or South Park or something, or some popular culture icon. I'd probably get more views. I don't know. Maybe I should do that just to mix things up. But I think to the layman, I think you got to understand like all these artists that are doing that. That's it's not particularly hard to do, especially when you got the formula down. You know, when you got that formula down, it's really easy to do those things. You know, that's why. I don't know, or maybe there's other reasons what for the success. Maybe they're hate saying this. Maybe they're just maybe they're just really hot. Okay, like I'm not like they like some of these artists that are like that will post them and then they post a picture of themselves next to their work, or they'll post a picture of themselves working, and then they're like, oh man, this person's really hot. Let's follow them, and then right, or really attractive, or whatever you call it. And you're like, no, that's not the case. Trust me, it's the case. Trust me. It's like there's a reason why people on TikTok, the women on TikTok, are dancing only in tank tops and like yoga pants. It's like, or swimsuits. Like, what the heck are you doing? What the heck are you doing, man? Get off that. I mean, for real. There's no purpose or utility in that other than to get more followers. You know, and is that a good thing? I don't know. Like maybe, like it's a currency, I guess. I don't know if it's a good thing in the long haul, because maybe when they're older, they might have a kid or two, and then they find their their kid sees this stuff, and it might educate them in thinking that this is what I have to do to succeed, you know, and we're not supposed to do that. That's not good, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too like touchy with the topic. I don't know. I'm not trying to be edgy. I'm just thinking that I think when we're artists, if we sacrifice like our own aesthetic, like what we truly want to do, like a lot of artists say they want to draw, um, they're drawing, yeah, you're drawing, but you're not. Are you drawing for you, or are you drawing for someone else? And if you're drawing fan art or other pieces of like property, like Marvel Universe, DC Universe, are you drawing like Scarlett Johansson? I see a lot of that. Scarlett Johansson, mainly because she's hot, right? If you're drawing Scarlett Johansson, um, or Chris Evans, or Chris Hemsworth as Thor, You know, are you drawing for yourself, or are you drawing because you know it's going to get people to follow you? And then what happens is, from my understanding, as like Gary Vee says, is they pigeonhole themselves, right? Like, okay, now they got the likes and the followers, and then they start drawing whatever they maybe they want to draw whatever they want. I'm tired of drawing Captain over and over again, you know? And they're like, hey, and they start drawing someone else. They start drawing their own original characters. Like, hey, we don't want you to draw that, dude. We want you to draw Captain America and Wonder Woman. But I want to draw my own original characters. I'm tired of drawing Wonder Woman and Captain America. I want to express my own draw my own characters. And then they're like, no, 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 you have to draw what we like, or else we're gonna unfollow you. And then all of a sudden, they get less and less followers, and then they're upset, and so they're kind of pigeonholed, right? They're kind of stuck in this loop of having to draw what other people want them to draw, even though they may or may not know it, or maybe they might like drawing other people's characters, like truly. But even if they do like drawing other people's characters, and they just but like maybe in the future, decide like I just want to draw something else. I want to go, or like in the future, they're like, I want to go full abstract. I just want to start drawing abstract, right? Can't do that. You can't. You can't do that. You're stuck. You're stuck doing the same stuff over and over again, you know? And that's not fair, right? I think that's not fair. Like, it's like, put it this way, you got to put it in the context. You got to put it in a different light. Like, do you it's like some of you, some people, right, have a 9 to 5 job or a 10-hour, 12-hour job where they have to do the same thing over and over again. I have some friends who used to work at True Manufacturing, you know, and they had to do the same thing over and over and over again, right? That's insanity. That's like being in your own, like, kind of, not, I don't want to say hell, but like it's definitely feeling like you're in some sort of like purgatory or something, because you're doing the same thing over and over again, and nothing happens and nothing's different. You wake up, you go there, and you screw that lug nut into that into that area, right? You bolt that place, you move that object there, and you do it over and over again for 8 hours a day, and you do that 365 days a year, right? That's like what you're doing. That's what you're doing to a lot of these artists that maybe they want to get out of that. You know, maybe they want to explore their own voice. And then there's some who have an aesthetic that everyone likes, and they're in like heaven, you know. They love drawing this certain way, and they love doing it over and over again. And they get the massive following, and then that with that massive following, that allows them to basically have a level of like financial freedom where they can just do that, you know? And that's amazing. I don't think uh, we live in a world, like, very rarely do we live in a world where you can just draw what you want, and you don't even have to do anything else. You just draw. Like, you don't have to sell the drawings. You don't have to whatever. You just get like sponsored or whatever, and they basically pay you a stipend to promote their products. Or you just in your post or wherever you say like, "Thank you, Micron Pens, for this lovely pen set," and then they give you, here's 500 a month or whatever. You know, I mean, like I don't think we understand the gravity of that, right? Like Charlie D'Amelio, whatever her last name is, she gets like a substantial amount of money just to do like a cheerleader-esque dance, Like like, I'm not gonna lie, she can dance. She's really good at it, but she's not like great. Like, there's a bunch of other dancers that are far superior than her dance moves, but like they get like maybe 20K followers. They might not even have 20K. They might have like 500, and they're in a studio apartment, uh, eating rice and beans to pursue their dream of dancing. And then you have someone like Charlie who just, I don't know, like the algorithm gods kind of struck it right, you know, and she's able to get mad money just dancing, you know. I don't think that is amazing and weird at the same time. I think we underestimate how crazy good that is. Like I was listening to Gary Vee, not recently, but like he would talk about this. Like you can go on YouTube, literally, you can just go on YouTube and you can talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and make 3,000 a month, you know, through ads, through like the ad slots on your videos. But you got to don't get me wrong. There is some there's some work involved, right? You got to put in the time. You got to make the videos, edit them, and such. But dude, you can make money just talking about how much you love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Or how about this? There's these. I found this amazing. I was like, huh. I was looking up because I'm trying to treat my drawing, my live streams as like a vlog, you know, just to mainly just to kind of get, maybe I'll get some laughs about it, like when I'm 80, like look what I did. Oh God, oh man, if I knew what I was doing, right? Um, so I'm treating it like kind of like a blog or vlog. Like you other people will watch other people go on these lavish like trips, and like and the people that go on the lavish trips are getting paid money through YouTube ad space. I'm like, man, dude, do you know how cool that is? You're just basically, your job is to go around the world and to just travel and document it and like edit it in a fashion that is pleasing, but you don't have a job. You don't have a job. Maybe you did at one point, but you don't have a job. Your job is just to go around and, talk about how you partied one day. And as long as it looks like exciting and fun, you got it. I think that's amazing, but also just like mind-boggling at the same time. What, you could do that? And no one else thinks that, like that's crazy that, oops, that is a thing. So basically, right now what I'm doing is I'm just moving around. I'm seeing what needs to be. I don't have any objective. Like, I don't have any specific areas that I'm working on because I'm not at that point. And maybe I'll probably be around at that point around probably Tuesday. I'll be at I'll be at that point where I can kind of uh, start being picky about where I'm working or on what areas I'm working on. But I think I'm still not at that point yet. Maybe it might happen a little bit earlier. Um, I'm still, when I'm drawing, I'm always, I don't want to clearly know the objective of the drawing so early on, because then because then I'm going to lock up and focus on the drawing. I'm going to focus too much on the final outcome and not focus on like letting the drawing become its own. And that's another thing that like not like a pet peeve of mine, but when you see all these artists on like all these social media and they do the same thing over and over again, they already know like the final outcome. They're not doing much soul searching with regards to the drawing. Or maybe I have like a an odd an odd philosophy, like an odd philosophical like attachment to my drawings. And maybe I attach like this weird life lesson to art. And maybe I think that's probably a reason why I draw now is it's like a therapy and also a reflection upon life growth because it's um it's not just like, oh, I'm improving, but it's a reflection of like when I draw and I get better, it there is a clear line of improvement. Like it shows like look at I I worked hard to get to this level and I look forward to getting to leveling up in my drawing over and over again. So I started drawing digitally this year. And if I look at I started drawing digitally this year, and I would do Pokemon because like I started doing that. Well, I did it a couple years back on I didn't have this tablet at the time. I had like some really cheap, small, like 8-inch by like 4 drawing tab. Not even drawing tab. It was just a tablet. It was just a tablet that I was like, you know what, I need to get better at this. I've been so lazy with this, and I set a goal to do it, and I started drawing like a Pokemon a day, and it just didn't pan out. Like life hit me, and I wasn't near as regimented as I am now. So, but this year I started drawing a Pokemon a day, and then it turned out like it was just too much like to do because I was getting better and better. But like because I was getting better and better, the amount of time it took to draw a Pokemon meant that I could only do like one Pokemon every 3 days or so because of my time constraints with them. And so I started drawing a Pokemon a day, and then the whole lockdown thing kind of happened. We all kind of were forced to stay inside, right? And so like a few things happened, right? Is I had to there was a businesses were forced to go close, so I had to like, well, I need some money. So I offered to do these portraits at a very low price so I can get some cash flow going, just to kind of tide me over. And it worked really well, actually too well, because now I have way too many and not enough time to finish them. Like I'm going to be doing these till the end of the year, and they might even trail over to the next year because people were buying them in pairs and sets, and I was like, oh, this is too much. So I had to stop taking in new portraits. But I decided to take these portraits as a side hustle, and because I got to eat. Uh, and if I look at them now and in comparison to the first one, vastly better, right? If I look at my first digital drawing of this year, and I look at these, I'm like, wow, there's some major changes. And partially because I started understanding the program. I wasn't bad at drawing, but like when you don't understand the program and you don't understand how the pressure reacts, and you don't understand like how you can use the airbrush, to its potential, it really affects the outcomes, and I think we undervalue that. Um, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just chilling. Ugh. I tell you what I do miss. It's like, well, it's 5 minutes. That's a timer. Um, I do miss working out. I think that's one key thing that I'm missing in my formula is I always got the most important task done, which is drawing. But the the second like part of the equation is exercising, and I'm having trouble fitting that in, especially because so I teach art during the year, throughout the year, not during the summer, but like sometimes I get lucky and I'll, hey, you want to do a class for the summer? Like, yeah, I'll do one. But when that happens, my time like dwindles to like nothing. So I really have to do this drawing. I really have to spend my time drawing in the morning, or else I won't actually get any of it done. Um, I lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, well, because of that, because when I start teaching during the school year, um, my availability to exercise dwindles. So, I usually have a little bit more time in during the summer to teach. I mean, to draw, not to work out. Gosh, I'm thinking about like my mind's everywhere. Uh, but sometimes life happens and I won't have that opportunity. So I'm just getting like these little like clips, like the I don't know what it's called. Like it looks like paper edges, trimming those down a little bit, putting the foreground color there. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to flatten the image and I'll flatten the image and what will I do? Well, I'm going to flatten the image and then I'm going to trim some of these areas that where the airbrush kind of skimmed off over. I don't like cold coffee. How about you? That coffee's cold. I think what I'm going to do now is I actually am going to focus on something. I'm going to focus on the eye for this 25 seconds, 25 minutes, and then I'm going to focus on what I'll do is I'll move towards the mouth, the nose and lips. I think what I've been doing as of lately is I've just been kind of going all over. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start pulling the trigger and focusing on specific areas so I can tighten it up. I think it's at that point where I need to. So I'm going to do that. Sorry, I'm like hiccuping and trying to talk at the same time. I'm going to focus on the eyes for this 25-minute section, and then I'm going to focus on the nose and mouth, the next section, and that'll be it for this drawing session. We'll take a break and come back a little bit later if there's time, if time will allow, uh, to work on my pig drawing. I did some research and I looked up how to draw pig hooves. Not No, I didn't look up how to draw pig hooves because I'd be surprised if there was a very specific tutorial how to draw pig hooves, right? Maybe I should make one. Um, I'm gonna probably not draw the pig hooves, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover them with like presents because it's the pig's birthday. So my other drawing that I'm working on is uh, a kind of my little original character. Not even original characters. It's just like it's a cartoon. Like it's not really. It's not like it's an OC. Like I think everyone. What's really funny, what I find really strange, is uh, we're all like everyone's puts the whole original character on the platform, like it's some big thing. But a lot of artists have a ton of original characters, or maybe they don't. Maybe they do. A lot of them now are just doing like copies of of other people's work or other people's like ideas. Maybe I maybe maybe my generation only did a lot more original characters than this generation, of artists where they tend to do a lot of other copyrighted content like Marvel and DC. But I guess the pig is kind of its own original character, you know, if you want to call it that. Yeah, the pig is its own original character. Another thing I've been trying to do on the side, unsuccessfully, is drawing, drawing a page a day in my sketchbook. And all I've been able to do is maybe like a page every other day. I'm just not near my sketchbook throughout the day. I'm always moving. And all these like professional artists say it's easy, just do it. Just do it. Like, dude, you're a professional artist, bro. You don't have any other obligations uh, outside of your artwork now. Like once you make it as an artist, like the weird excuses I hear about how like you can have a page a day, no big deal. Like, listen, you don't know my circumstances, just like I don't know yours, but like you make it sound like it's easy to pull off a page a day. My neck's very stiff. I don't like that. Like it's incredibly stiff, and I can feel it like crackle when I try to pop it. You know, I don't like that. I'm very subconscious or self-conscious of it, I guess, or self-aware of how it's affecting my, I guess, well-being, maybe. You know. So this black color that I'm using is I'm moving it to the green tone, so it's like a slightly green tone. I don't know if I should do that just yet. I might be focusing too early on the eyebrows, which I'm pretty sure I am. Like it's too early in the game to kind of do that, but I'm gonna move around and change. I'm gonna go to the eyes and just kind of tone the eyes down again. Tone them down. So part of it is the reason why I'm really inexperienced with utilize drawing digitally, so that's why these drawings take like substantially longer. Although I have heard some people talk about how many like months they've worked on one drawing. You're like, whoa, that doesn't look like you spent a month on it, you know, or how many hours they spent. So I've seen some people post like I spent 500 hours on this drawing or something like that. I'm like, whoa, they spent way too long. And I'm not like insulting the person, but like, I think you probably could have spent half the time on that or done some research to kind of speed up the process some. And that's what I try to do in my free time when I have a moment. I try to do a little quick Google search or YouTube search to kind of find some hacks, like drawing hacks on the digital media, because there's a lot of drawing hacks you can do. But like I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place where like, well, I know that I can look. I'm not. It's not apparent to me what I should be searching on YouTube. That's going to help my drawing because the tutorials you find on there are very situational, meaning that like they're very specific, you know, like they'll tell you to draw a specific eye, you know, or how to draw a specific type of skin, flesh, like texture or whatever. But like if I don't know how I want to pursue the drawing as much as I just don't know how much they should, like what venue, like what avenue of, or like what technique I'm looking for with my drawing, then I'll just be looking around like, I'll just be kind of looking around odd in areas that I shouldn't be looking around. Like this is not going to help me for this drawing. So I have to know exactly what I'm looking for, you know, and sometimes I just don't have the time to watch a 30-minute video. And it's not like a podcast. You got to actually watch what they're doing a little bit, to understand what's going on. And then you got to practice it a little bit. Like I just don't want to sometimes I don't want to take the technique and try to apply it into my current drawing, because then there's a learning curve and I need to get the drawing done. So again, rock in a hard place. I can't spend my time treating my drawing that I'm working on as a educational like exercise, even though all of my drawings are kind of like self-educating, right? I learn a little bit each time, but I can't I kind of give myself a limit, a gauge limit to how much time I want to spend learning a new technique in a drawing. I might do a little bit here, a little bit there, right? And then I'll move on. But I can't tend, I don't tend to have the time to do the amount of research I'd like to do on these art tutorials. And I should definitely do that. I mean, I'm going to benefit from it. It's just hard. Like, the balance is I'm trying to create content, aka draw and show it online and put it on all my social media feeds so everyone knows that I'm an artist and I'm doing this. Look at me. But how do you find the time to also consume it? So if I want to consume content that it's going to help me, aka drawing techniques and all this other stuff, I need to set time aside and I need to be uh, able to focus on it, you know? And that's where I have trouble. Like I tend to not be able to, I can't, I have a hard time sitting down and watching these things and then to be able, and then try to apply them in my drawings, because most of my time is spent towards just doing these drawings. I guess what will happen is after I finish this whole batch of like this first batch of like digital portraits, then I might like spend an evening. Like I'll take more portraits in. I'll start like taking in like a batch or two, or like 4 or 5, not 45, right? I'll take 4 or 5 in, and then one of those days, I'll go in and I'll look up one video a day and then maybe watch it, right? But right now, I'm not in that place, unfortunately, where I can sit down and consume a massive amount of like drawing tutorial or how-tos, because they're too situational and you don't know what you're going to get. Like some of these artists will tell you what they're doing really good, and then you have some really great artists, like this technical wise, show you what they're doing, but they're like it's garbage. They're not really showing anything. They're not explaining anything. And then you have some that artists that are really bad, not like on they're really bad. I wouldn't say bad, but like the technical skill is not as high as some of these other artists, but they explain things so well, you know, and you get more value from them than like the really good artists who are trying to tell you what to do, and like, they don't tell you anything, and that's like aggravating. So like you'll watch this 30-minute, 20 to 30-minute video, and you're like, I didn't get anything from that video. This person is really good at drawing, and that's it. And we will watch their how-tos, but they won't provide me anything on how to apply it to my drawing, you know, because they don't know, or their priority is not teaching. The priority is drawing, and that's fine. I just wish they would say, like, in the description, this is not that good of a tutorial. I probably should explain more, but I'm too busy drawing. Sorry, you know. Now, I noticed that today I'm not seeing the color that I normally see. So I'm just gonna, accept that. Whoops. But again, I am seeing the subtle like value variations, so I'm okay. So some days let me rub my eyes. Oh gosh, that's probably the reason why I got a headache. I'm drawing too much. That's probably the reason why I got a headache. I zoomed in way too much. It's because I'm drawing way too much. And I'm not giving my eyes the proper rest they probably are requesting of me. So what I like to do sometimes is I'll throw in a little bit of, this is something I've been trying to play around with, is airbrush hatching. Not like a dark airbrush, but just a little bit of airbrush hatching, something that kind of that will you can see, but you don't. It's so subtle, and I throw a little bit here and there, just to kind of play around with it. And I do that on different multiple layers, so it's not always in the same spot. I don't know, man. My stomach is it's saying, "Hey, what are you doing, dude? Matt, what are you doing? Your stomach. What have you been feeding me?" And I'm like, I don't know. I've been garbage, and my stomach's saying, "Stop that. Stop giving me this garbage. You feel awful." I'm like, I can't. It's convenient right now, guys. And the stomach's like, you know what? I don't care that it's convenient, because this sucks. You feel like you feel awful. I feel awful, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, stomach. I'll try to be better. So I noticed that I'm not really I'm still veering off with I don't have a clear focus on mine. Again, I told you I was going to draw on the eyes, and I ended up not drawing on the eyes, or kind of around, but not as specific as I'd like to be. And I probably should get to that right now, because I have 10 minutes on the, whoops, I closed out. There we go. Are we back in? Can you see it? Yeah. Uh, I have 10 minutes on the eyes, and I really, I've made a dent, but it's not a significant amount of like work. It's just ever so subtle changes that, again, through time, make you can start to notice the changes. It's not near as pronounced as I should be. They're not near as substantial as they probably should be. Again, it goes with the notion of inexperience. It's like I don't want to hit the pedal, the driver's pedal too hard, because then I'm afraid that I might not be able to get back to the position I'm at. But I also don't want to, I don't want to, I don't know. I gotta think of the words. I just gotta think. And then the next session will be turn to nose. Still, my tummy, my tum-tum. How many times have you heard like a grown man say, "My tummy, ooh, ooh, my stomach, my tummy tum-tum, help me guys, my tummy hurts, my tum-tum." I just like saying stuff like that because it makes me laugh. I know it's probably not like the thing you should say. Like, this guy's a grown man and he says the word tummy, tum-tum, right? It's a little funny, I think, just a meme. It's a little funny, but like my stomach is not agreeing with me today. And, yeah, it's just not agreeing with me. Oh man, what a day! It has already been a morning, and I just want to like toss in a towel and go back to bed. I'm sure many of you experienced that day. Like you just, I don't want to get out of bed today. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed today. Let me lay in bed. Yeah, because that's what I feel like right now. I just want to sleep in bed and not worry about everything I got to do. I got to go grocery shopping today, and that's a whole thing. Got to go in there and put that mask on, you know. Oh, God, I don't even want. That makes me not want to go grocery shopping. Just that. Some of those I have this mask that's like doesn't breathe too well. It's like it's too efficient. So I'm getting a little lightheaded wearing the thing. I'm like, oh man, I feel dizzy. This mask, I can't even breathe through it. Can I go to the checkout line now, please? I just want to get out of here. So it's just like small incremental changes that through time, you don't notice it in 5 minutes, in 2 minutes. Like you don't notice in 2, 5, 10, but in like 30 minutes, you notice that like there's been a slight change that's occurred over that time period, and I'm fine with that right now. I'm fine. I'm sticking to that, mainly because, well, as I said, inexperience. But there's this thing going on like where I'm doing two portraits, you know, and I want to it's hard doing two portraits in one frame, at least at this point of experience level that I have. You know, it's challenging making them work together. You know, it's challenging. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm running out of things to say, man. That sucks. Um, don't know. I don't know where I need to go with this drawing right now. The client was like told me that they wanted the lips changed. I need to ask her what she wants because I'm not sure. She said something about the lips not being vivid enough. I don't understand. I didn't understand the request. So I got to send a message and to ask her to clarify what she means. But then again, the drawing's just it's not even done. So like there's gonna be a massive amount of changes that occur in that between now and the time that's finished. So sometimes I wonder like do you know that when I give you a visual update, it's this is not it. It's not like, hey, this is what you're getting. I give you a visual update, show you like this is where it's at right now. Just want to show you that I'm not slacking on you and that I'm actually working on it, you know. Because sometimes like you got clients that want you to have the drawing done real quick. I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, if I was a full-time artist, you know, if I was getting paid to do this full time, you know, I would be probably done with these in like 3 days because then I could work on them straight. But I'm not at the moment, so I have to do these on my free, like in my spare time, which is at 4 a.m. to 8. Uh, you know, so that's why they're not getting their drawings in time. I know it sounds like I'm complaining. You know, I'm just basically speaking matter of factly. You know, I'm not really complaining. I try. I mean, I know that I can make my day. I can find something to complain about. Like, I mean, I got lots of things I could complain about. You know, but I think because I got lots of things I complain about, I try to avoid like that type of stuff. I already have like I think one thing that people don't know about me, or I think only like a few people is like I have like a temper, not like a temper, but like I get frustrated. Um, you know, like I'll get really frustrated one like over time, and so like I try to be mindful of the situations and try to accept that there's things that I can't control. And so I used to be more like angry over the stuff like I couldn't control. And so because I've been mindful of that, I think I've been a better person. Although there are times where like I'm like, gosh, man, this is rough. This is really rough. And those times are like it really pushes. You know, it just makes me. I think the temper. It's not like temper. It's more like sadness, I guess. Right? Like sadness swelling in, or stress. You know, it could be stress induced. Like the things that are occurring is because of stress. And so I try to not be so upset about small things now. Although I do get snappy, you know, just like I'll get snappy for no reason. I'll, like someone will ask me a question and I'll like respond with like it's not even like anger. It's like blah 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 blah. Like I don't know. I don't know the answer. Quit asking me questions I don't have answers to. Funny thing about like art is though I'll get questions from students and I give like this generic basic answer because oftentimes I really have to think about what they're asking, and unfortunately I can't give them a solid answer ahead of time because like I was like I gotta think because these questions you're asking are really complex. Like I know to them that it seems as like it's a simple question, but it's not apparently clear to me what would be the best way or the best input I can give to them. I can give them like a generic response that will get them by, but there's certain fundamental things you got to think about when you're drawing or when you're doing design and such. And I don't think I think we undervalue that, or we understate like like we misunderstand like this how complicated they can be. You know, so a lot of these things have some. They're vastly more complicated than we think. It is what it is. Yep. Getting close to the time on the eyes here. I probably need to darken this area a little bit. Maybe use this actual skin tone and kind of darken this area a little bit more. Show some of that green, but not all of it that's been showing. Probably highlight it right here a little bit. So I like to play around with the highlights and low lights. Just kind of get those. That area is a little bit blue. I'm noticing that there's whenever I do the eye drop tool, sometimes there's a little glitch underneath the screen there. I don't know if I should be worried about that. You know, like should I be concerned about that in the future? Is that going to be an issue that I need to tackle? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But it's kind of it's not worrisome, but like I wonder why it's doing that. I wonder if it's because of live streaming or something like that. Who knows? We will never know. You're never gonna know, Matt. Put a little bit of tone right here. I think I did the brush too small. So I just like to do these little small things over and over again. And excuse me. Um, Over time, they make something significant, and I don't mind that. You know, it's kind of interesting to see that happen actually because like when you're drawing on it, you can, as I said, I think before, you can kind of become blind. It kind of looks like a wallpaper after a while, and then when you come back to it, or when you look at it an hour later, you're like, oh wow, I did that. I changed that much. All the small things I thought I was doing, I couldn't really tell at the moment of at the time when I was making those actions what specifically was happening, and then you're like, wow, they don't look that bad. They don't look that bad. All right, so that's time for this area. Now let's back out of it. I gotta save. We gotta save, and then we're gonna work on the nose and mouth, I think. And then after that, so I added a little bit, not a significant amount, but like just small tweaks, nose and mouth, and think what I might do is I'm going to have to switch brushes, I think. That's going to add a little bit more tooth, a little bit more grain to the skin. And I'm going to do that on top of this. It's kind of, it's because right now the skin's like really smooth, you know, and I'm going to do that as like, I think like the final, not the final layer, but one of the final layers. I'm avoiding the hair and the eyebrows and the beard and the shirt and the necklace. I think those are going to be like one of like the last things going to start working on. But I want to get the face kind of nailed in. Uh, I probably need to spend a moment to work on the hands and neck again. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think what I might need to start doing, as I said, is I might need to spend just sections. I might, at this point, I need to start working in sections and just go from top to bottom, you know, just I'm gonna need more coffee, but work in sections where so like this was the eyes, the next one will be the nose and mouth, and then if I were to work another section, it'd be the chin, chin and lower neck area, not the whole neck, just the chin, and then shirt or something. I don't know. I don't know. That's all my coffee. Wow, my eyes are super heavy. I need to like be like some of those live streamers that wear makeup and have perfect lighting, so I look good. I probably need like I need to groom. Need to like get my mustache ever so uh clean. Oh wow, the short break. Ah, I must have missed it. I must have drew all the way through the short break. I must have drew my through my 25 minutes and into my short break, and now I what the bell I heard was the beginning of the next one. So I didn't know that. So I'm gonna go back and start drawing again. We're gonna move the this layer so it's right here, just like side by side reference. And I'm gonna go back to the main layer, start drawing again. Yep. Move through the now. Gotta start working on the nose and lips. Now the thing about this photo, man, it's it sucks. It's a good photo, like of the couple, but like contrast wise, whew, it is a rough photo to work with. When you want to do a portrait, you want some good contrast, so because it allows you to have more modeling availability, if that makes any sense. It allows me to sculpt forms easier when the image is super like when it's flat, when you don't have a good range of dark and light, it makes it much more difficult to make it feel real, if it makes any sense. So like right now, this photo is just it's difficult. It's difficult because it's like the woman has she doesn't have a dark contrast. She has a really high. It's that because the flash it's so bright. The flash is so bright that it's flattening the value range. And the dude, the guy, he doesn't have that. It's not. He's like a mid-tone. Like the value range is mid-tone. There's not like a bright highlight. It's either mid-tone or dark tone. The woman is it's a highlight. It's like a light tone and then very little dark tones. So I'm playing with like this. I have to play around with the contrast. I need to stop talking and start drawing. Gosh darn. Yeah. You need to start just keep moving along with the idea. But it makes it more challenging, you know. And also, if you look at the nose, like where's her nostril? You know, where is that? Do I make it up? Right? Do I make that nostril up when I draw it? So those are some of the things I'm considering when I'm working on these drawings. Like, where is this with regards to that, or you know, where's this form? Where's it go? It's the challenges that I'm facing with the drawing. I need more coffee. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. No, I don't like that, but we'll just go back to that. Nope. And then probably eventually I'm gonna get to the point where I just work on like the nose for 25 minutes and then the lips for 25 minutes. You know, just ever so slightly dial in the details a little bit more and more. Slowly tweak it in so I can move into the details more and more. And then that way I have some layers of depth here. So there's a lot more. This is a lot more going. There's a lot more going on than like simple transitional value. I think also the reason why is because I'm not that good at it. I've gotten a little bit better at it, but I'm not the greatest at just doing like that simplistic. Okay, it's not simplistic to me. The reason why it's simplistic is I don't understand how to do it complexly. Like I don't understand how to make it really complex. Um, you know, so there's a lot more in these drawings than people think because there's all these little things, little detail surprises that are happening. It's just these slow little processes that us artists have to deal with when we're drawing. We have to do these little things over and over again. Okay, I was wondering why I can't see anything. I thought I wasn't. Huh. There we go. I can kind of see what happens there. So, yeah, it's just this small subtle things. You just got to keep working at it, keep modeling the forms, and just hope it kind of falls into place. You know, I think my goal is to have this done by next week, by the end of Saturday. You know, if it's not getting towards that, I'm gonna be very upset. You know, I'm like, gosh darn, dude, I spent 2 weeks on this drawing. You know, and it's not like a long time for me to spend it on a drawing, but like I got so many other portraits to do that I really need to kind of get more. I gotta get them done quicker. You know, I just got to, and not because, but then again, uh, if they're patient, the longer they wait, the ones that are farther back on the queue, they're just going to get a better drawing because with each preceding drawing, I learn a little bit more and I get a little bit better. You know, there's some growth that happens. So they can't be too upset, although that I understand that they want their portrait, they want it quick, and I also told them that I told everyone that I have a huge line and I'm working on them every day, and I don't know when you're going to get yours, but I'm working on them, and I have the proof right here. If you want to know I'm working on them, come view my YouTube channel, come view my Instagram page, watch me actually working on them and see the timestamp on them. See like, oh, this person's been working on the same portrait. I should maybe not be so mad they're not coming out in time, because this person's given his due diligence. He's putting in hours and hours on these drawings for me, and I'm like, I won't even spend it's like an hour of work on something like this, you know, as in eyes like they won't. Like I was put myself in their perspective. So I don't know if I like that nose yet. Again, when I make these decisions, they're very. I'm gonna try something fun. I'm gonna keep trying this. I want to put this green just for fun there. Um, so I won't know how much I like doing I won't know if this is right until maybe like a couple hours later when I come back to it, or the next day when I see it, like, oh, this is all right. It's not bad. I think actually there's certain areas that actually moved in a pleasant direction visually, and so I think I think I'm content with that. But there's sometimes you're like when you're doing this, like this goes against what I'm used to. All right. So even though the contrast isn't there here, I'm pushing the contrast underneath the nose a little bit because I want people to know the edge of that nose a little bit more, even though in the photo it's kind of ambiguous. So I'm exaggerating that, and it might not be the right color, but that's fine. I need it to look, I need it to be a little bit more defined. So there's that. Just like the side of the mouth here, I need to emphasize it a little bit more. In what way, I'm not sure. It's gotta do something here to kind of express it a little bit more. So I don't think that curves up that much, but just like the chin here. I know I said I was going to work on the mouth and nose, but like I'm considering the chin, below the chin, a part of the mouth, on the side of the mouth is fine. I'm just trying to get this kind of looking more like what I'm seeing. So I used the blend tool there. I don't know if I like it. And I probably went a little too quick. So I got to go back in there a little bit and really kind of change the angle some. And then take this and move it further out, because I think the tones, yeah, right there. It's like a triangle, but I can't seem to get it right. Maybe it'll come to me later. Maybe it won't. You never know. Okay, I gotta work on the lips some more, I guess. I really gotta ask her what she wants with her lips, because she said something weird, like she wants it flat or something. I don't know. You know, I was like, I want the lips to look more like the color that they're on there. We'll find out. I'll ask her, and I'll get a response, and I'll work with that. You know, that's all you can do is see what they want. Like, does she want the lips darker or what? You know, I don't know. You just got to deal with it. You got to do what you can with the information that you have provided with you. So when I get some of that information, I'll course correct if I need to. You know, I'll make the adjustments if need be. I had a few shows that I was supposed to be in these last few months, and um, this is kind of funny. I am not going to participate. This is like one of the first times in my life where I just said, you know what, it's just too much of a hassle to do what they want me to do. They want me to have the labels and the titles already, and they want me to drop the work off. They want me to sign all this information. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's like it's not worth my time. I could be working on this drawing. I could be doing live streams. You know, I think I'll get more of a return on my time to do this than to prepare a drawing or prepare a piece for a show that they don't promote online as well as I can promote just doing my stuff. And I'm not even that good. You know, I'm like behind the curve, but I'm doing probably more than the average Joe, or probably more than the average like gallery space. And I have nothing against the galleries. I'm just saying, I just don't, I just don't, I just don't, I don't like, I don't, it's just it's such a pain to work with. Like all the promotional material they want us to send, they have like they have like specific uh, ways they want their file names. I'm like, come on, guys. You, are you doing me a favor or am I doing you a favor? Nothing against them. Like I think nonprofit galleries probably are better. And I might be a little biased because I have some connections with some, but but like commercial galleries, maybe I'm just a little bit hurt that I haven't been in one, or they haven't come up to me, and I've tried soliciting them, but the way that they work is like they get mad. They're like mad at you for bombarding them with spam mail, spam letters, and such. It's like I'm busy with my show that I got to set up. Like, man, chill out, dude. Why are you mad? Listen, it's these artists that provide you with a living, and you're mad that you get all these artists throwing messages to you. You need to hire a full-time person just to go through them and review them, because you never know. Because a lot of them will delete it, you know. It's like, oh, we already have enough artists. Like, do you? Again, I'm just a little bit probably butthurt or like upset that I've never been accepted to one. So like maybe that's probably why. And I don't know if I will be. I don't think that's in my cards. I enjoy this a little bit more. Like getting ready for shows, stressful. Gosh, the amount of work you have to do. And that's not just making the work. You got to prepare it for this. Like you got to prepare it to hang. You got to have the whole thing like on point, you know? And that sucks. That's so much work. And if you're going to like self promote alongside with them, that's even more work. So it's just like, it's stressful. So that's why I don't do them anymore. And I need to probably send an email to one of them and say, hey, I don't think I'll be able to do this. It's like, I don't think I had the time to, they'll probably think I'm crazy. Like, you don't have time to drop this artwork off. Like, yeah, I don't. I don't have any time to do what you want me to do. I apologize for inconveniencing you. And like, yeah, you're totally inconveniencing me. I'm like, maybe. You ever thought that you might be inconveniencing me? I'm offering you this opportunity. Listen, I've been in so many shows, right? I've been in so many shows. I I don't see the opportunity that I thought that was laid before me. Like I used to be in 12 shows a year. You know, I used to exhibit 12 to 25 times, 24 times a year. And now I was like, and I thought to myself, I've sold like no work in these shows. It's a hassle. I've sunk money into it. Why should I do that? I got to spend money to deliver these pieces. I got to spend time to ship them to places. What for a mark on my resume, on my artist gallery like CV? Like that's a waste. Like that. What is that? That doesn't put food on the table. It's like, oh, but yeah, I have other artists would say that like, oh, but it's also I've gotten so many like commissions off of that. Like, well, that's you. Like, I haven't been that lucky to get commissions. I've gotten a few nibbles, but then they find out how much it cost, or my rates, or they find another artist that's going to willing to do it for cheaper, and then like buy. It's like, well, thanks for wasting my time. No more. You know, I just don't. I just don't. Just not happy doing them. Like it's like a click, and you got to have like the same like uh you got to have the same, what would you call it, like I don't know, you got to have the same morals, not morals, but like a mindset. Well, anyways, I'm not like that. I'm like, it's too artsy. And I think I heard this phrase from a friend, and I think I could take it from, I'm going to take it. I'm like a blue collar artist, you know, like a blue collar artist, meaning that like I'm kind of country a little bit, not like country, like I'm not like, yeah, I don't know what that means. That's a bad impression. But I'm more down to earth, and I'm not into that whole uh like clicky art definition where we have like these specific, like our art's got to be raised up on a platform, and it's got to have this social meaning. It's got to mean something so powerful to you and the world, and it's got to reflect you as an individual. And it's like, oh, guys, they're just pretty pictures. Calm down. We're over complicating things. We're overcomplicating them. Whew. Anyways, that was a pretty good drawing session. I think I made some headway. I gotta save it again. Let's save it. Saved, and I think I made some good headway. Whoops, good headway. I think I am going to take a little break, um, and then I'll be back a little later. I gotta draw. I want to draw my pig. I don't know how late. I think it's going to be pretty soon. Normally I take a long break, but I might just knock it out. Like, so I might just, like, uh, get up and stretch, and then set up for my next live drawing session. Um, but for those that are watching, please subscribe. Please share this. Share this to your friends and your colleagues, and just do what you can do to really get this out there, because I'm trying to do these live streams every day. Maybe I think we'll try to do them like every day, maybe at least 5 days a week, like a typical work week. And then maybe like Saturday, if I miss it, I miss it. Then I'll try to get back on track and work on it Sunday. But it's looking good. If I look at it right now, I notice a few things, but it is what it is. I'll nitpick on it later, but I don't mind it. Anyways, I have a wonderful Sunday. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time to watch this. Have a wonderful day. I got to get going.